Good evening, everyone. Thanks for popping along live. I'm just going to get you to mute. I've got you all muted. Thanks for coming. Welcome to Monday night. Yeah, Monday night. All the days are rolling into one at the moment as I are in the middle of launching. So hello, some familiar faces. Hi, Karina. Hi, Christy. Hi, Roberta. Hi, Mel. So yeah, thanks for coming along. I am recording tonight, so I hope that's okay with you all if for those that can't attend live. And I may be just letting in a few people as we go, as we start. So some people might just be jumping on a bit late, but we'll just keep going and I'll keep the momentum going. So all of you know who I am. I'm Kylie. I run Interiors Insider. I have a design business called Gold Chalk. And yeah, my objective really, I ran that business, I'm still running that business, Gold Chalk, for about 13 years now. And more recently, in the last 2 years, I've moved into mentoring, and I absolutely love mentoring. And I love sharing as much information as I can and helping women just like you all get your businesses up and running and firing. And I know how hard it is. I see you. I know how things go in business. I know it's very hard at the start to get any momentum happening. And in a crazy world where it should be so much easier with the likes of social media these days, in some ways it's so much harder than what it was also, because we've got so much noise out there, and the consumer has so much information coming at them all the time. So yeah, I guess tonight really is about me just sharing some of my insights that maybe, you might take one thing away, you might take 10 things away, but I do know that if you get these 10 things right, your business will move forward. So I know that for a fact because we implement this and I see it happening every day in the mentor program. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. If you have any questions, this has been really laid back. Pop your hand up, ask a question. I'm really happy to answer it along the way. Or if you want to leave it to the end, then that's totally fine as well. So whatever suits you, I'm really happy to do it either way. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully you don't see all of my stuff going on in my computer here. Just bear with me for a sec while I get into the little presentation. I'll just move you over. Okay, so the elusive 100K. Everyone wants to get to 100K in their business, okay? And to be quite honest with you, 100K should be the absolute minimum you should be going for in terms of revenue to make any money in your business, okay? By the time you pay the tax man, you pay your super, you pay your GST, you really need to be making 100K in revenue, okay? So as much as people say, they rave on about this whole 6-figure, 7-figure, multiple 6-figure, I do get it, but it's not as hard to get to as most people think. And once you're in momentum, getting to 6 figures and multiple 6 figures should be actually quite easy, okay? Depending on how many hours you want to work and what you're doing. So, and I'll explain a little bit about my story later too, so that can help you thinking about maybe different ways that you can do things as well. So this is my 10 must-dos to get your business to 100K. Is everyone here mainly to get their business to 100K? Is that the goal here? Are we all revenue driven? Like we want to make sure, I'm just having a look at you all, if we're revenue driven, because a lot of people will say to me, this is really my hobby, not my hobby. I love doing this. I love helping people in their houses. The money's not really that important to me. And I really do question that at the end of the day, because as much as I love my job and I love helping people, I know that I still need to pay a mortgage and feed my children and send them to school and do all of those things. So money is really important to own that. It's really important to own that you are here to make money. You're not here to be a charity. You're not here to do this to, just to help people, but there's as much in this for you as there is for your client, okay? So I think that that's really important to not acknowledge. I mean, I go through a lot of money mindset things, which I'd love to touch on a little bit tonight, but we'll see how we go for time. But mindset and your money, the way you grew up around money, will be very impactful on the way that you are currently running your business. Okay, so lots of money blocks come up as you start to run your own business and you start to be your own solopreneur, small business owner. Lots of stuff comes up. So, and to be honest, each new level, there is really a new devil. So you'll reach a money plateau and then, you'll have to break through that ceiling to get to your next goal or whatever you want to get to. But really important that you acknowledge and understand, I guess, what your money mindset is as well and where you fit into that. A part of coming into the mentor program is I get you to do, it's a questionnaire where I get to find out what your money type is. So for me, I used to be an accumulator, but I've actually changed to a ruler. The accumulator is one, and this was my money story when I was starting business. I came from a family that we really didn't have a lot of money. And what I did in part of my money story is I would accumulate money and I would sit on it and I would be scared to actually reinvest it into my business because I always needed to have this little safety nest egg around me. And it wasn't until I understood that and I did some work on my money mindset that I was able to shift through that and get to my next income level. And also, so now I am what they call a ruler. And I haven't really dived too much into that, but your money mindset and what you are will change as well. So really important to know, and it's really interesting. The more you know, the better you are equipped to actually run your business. So let's get into making 100K in your interiors business. Some of this stuff may come to you, may be really straightforward, and some of it you will think that you're already doing it, but you're actually not doing it. Okay, so I'll send you the slides. I'll send you this recording, so you don't have to take notes if you don't want to, but feel free to take notes, up to you. But tonight really is, and the whole part of Interiors Insider is about saying, hey, I know everyone wants to go big. I know we all want to be successful and we've all got our own personal goals. And I truly believe that you can actually do it. There is a formula to doing it. I do believe that also, but I'm here to help you. I see you. I know there isn't one way that any of the women that I've helped feels or discusses with me that I haven't seen or haven't heard. So I see you, I understand. And the reason I guess I do understand is I was this person that wanted to get my business to 100K. I was so determined. I was like, it didn't matter what was happening. I was going to get my business up and running. And I guess part of that is being so driven that you will not let anything stop you. And look, perfectionism, imposter syndrome, all part of dealing with your mindset, strikes us all and can be debilitating. But you've got to learn to be thick-skinned in this business. And if something doesn't work, you just bounce back and you just try something new. And I can guarantee you, most of the things you try will not work. And then there'll be a day where something just clicks and it actually just sends your business forward. So I see you and I see all the women that are in the community at the moment. And this one in particular, really live. She was one of the first mentees to come into Interiors Insider. And I remember being in the car when she called me and she said, oh, Kylie, I think I've been following you and I think I'm interested in coming into Interiors Insider. And I was like, oh, okay. But she said, I've got this problem. I'm really young and I don't know how to sell and people don't take me seriously. That was her mindset, her whole thing around her not being able to grow her business. Well, as of last week, this girl is amazing. You should check her out on Instagram, Flawless Interiors, if you don't already. She has just set up her own studio. She is waitlisted and her business is absolutely on fire. Now, she will guarantee that all that was really stopping her was her mindset and imposter syndrome. She had a big case of imposter syndrome and thought that she couldn't do it. And most of the women that I work with are highly talented, but they don't actually believe in themselves. Or there's something, they're always comparing themselves to someone or thinking that they should be better. So it's not uncommon to feel any of those things, I guess is what I'm saying. But this session today is for you if you've started your business, but right now you don't have any or you haven't got enough clients. Okay, biggest thing I hear, I can't get clients, I don't know where to start, I haven't got a website, I haven't got a portfolio, so how on earth am I going to get clients? Or I'm doing all the things and I'm going on this hamster wheel, but I'm just not getting any traction. So you're new into the industry and you're struggling to get clients, or you've been in the industry for a while. So not uncommon for people to be in the industry for 2 or 3 years, 5 years. There's some women in the program that have been in for 10 years and you're just not getting the traction that you want. So you don't know what to charge, you don't know what to offer, or you think you know what you're charging and you think you know what you're offering. But in actual fact, until someone else has a look at what you're doing, you're probably not actually, there's usually a couple of other things going on. And the other one is the session really is for you if you're feeling flat and you need some help to get moving. And maybe you need a community and maybe you need some accountability. And the reason I bang on about community is because we are the sum of the 5 people we surround ourselves with. So if you want to be a superstar, if you want to be a kick-ass designer, then you need to be hanging around other designers that are doing it. Not ones that want to be or are trying to be, not other startups. You need to have people in your life that are actually doing it. You need to be able to strive to something and you need to be able to see that it's actually achievable and that it actually can flow to you quite easily. Okay. Any questions so far? Yeah, everyone good? Okay. Okay, and this might be a bit different to what you've heard in the past because my story and my way is different to the way a lot of other people do it, and that's okay. And so all I get you to come into this with an open mind, and it's what I've found to be successful. It's what I've found to work for the mentees that I coach. And it's what I've done. It's tried and tested, so I know it works. So just bear with me, go through it and just see what it brings up for you. So it might actually bring some things up for you that you might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, or you might just go, yeah, I get it. But the goal of our time together is to help you make money in your business and stay in business. So one of the other big reasons that I do what I do is because 20% of small businesses fail in their first year and 50% don't survive past 5 years. And that rate is so much higher for females. Okay, so it's not easy. You have not taken the easy path. The easy path is to go and work for someone. The hard path is to actually work for yourself and get your business to a level that's sustainable and profitable for you. And the lifestyle that you want to live. So by no means is running your business the easy option. So I, applaud you all for doing it and taking just getting yourselves to where you are today, because it really is hard. And it's everyday work. It's, monotonous, and you need to be really driven to get to where you want to be. So this is my story. So I was one of those interior designers that started late in life. I was married at 32. So I reckon I had Amelia at 33 or 34. So that's when I hadn't started my career then, actually. Amelia is now nearly 19. Samuel is just about 17, and Matthew is turning 15 next year. So I started when this little fella just got born. And what happened to me was, if you don't know my backstory, I was a retail buyer. So I had a really successful, amazing corporate life. And then I had children, and I decided to be a stay-at-home mum. Now, for whatever reason, whether that be right or wrong, that was a really hard transition period for me. It was very much Groundhog Day, very different to the lifestyle I had been used to living. But at the same time, really rewarding and fulfilling, because I wanted so badly to be at home with my kids. But it was so hard. And we didn't have the money to send my kids to childcare. Money was really tight. And I really lost my identity in the mix of things, and I lost who I was. And it was there were parts of it that were really, really hard. And for me, interior design was something that I always loved and aspired to do. I knew I was good at it. I knew I had an eye for colour, and I knew I could make things look good. But never in a million years did I ever think that I'd be able to run a business in it. And never in a million years did I ever give myself enough credit to say, you're good at this and you could do it. So I decided that I would go to night school and I would learn interior design, but not to get a job out of it. No way to lead a business and to run my life. It was really more to get out of the house and just have something for me to do that I was interested in. So I started it. It was like a hobby. And I have to say, 13 years later, now I am now mentoring. I have been running Gold Chalk for 13 years. And it's been, the early days were tough, in running a business, but it's been so rewarding, and one of the best things I could have done as my kids have gone through school and through the teen years, because I get to be home with my kids. I get to know where they are. I get to take days off when I need to. And so the flexibility of this industry is a bonus for when you're a mum and you're running your own business and you've got kids. So I just wanted to highlight that and say that although the first couple of years are really hard, this will be the best thing that you'll do as your kids grow and get through their teen years. And I mean, I can hardly believe that I have, 19-year-old daughter. I cannot believe she's 19. But, the days when she was this age, when the three of them, I mean, even before this, when I was getting three of them down to sleep, and that 1 hour where I could get three of them to sleep at once was just like gold. That Groundhog Day of that, cleaning bottles and hanging out little clothes on the clothes horse. I just so remember it so vividly. And my husband going out for drinks on a Friday night and me just hanging clothes onto the clothes horse. And I was just thinking, oh my God, what has my life come to? But it changed, and you have to be the creator of that change. And the only way it changed was by taking little steps forward, and just with a pure belief that I was so driven, and I loved the interiors industry. But my main concern was, what on earth was I going to do in the interiors industry? So this is me on my first photo shoot, trying to look very professional And I started as a real estate stylist. And Karina will know me from that because I was working with, I was going to say Globe West then, but no, I was working with Guest Furniture. And I worked out really for me in my demographic, what was the best way for me to get work in my demographic. So I live in Eltham, big family area, young families. People around this area don't really invest in making their homes look good. They don't have the money. They're at home. There's some that are, the older demographic might, that are downsizing, but predominantly that age group didn't have the money to invest. So my biggest thing was, okay, I live here. I never finished design school, by the way. I never finished night school. I decided to stop just for personal reasons. But I didn't let that stop me. I kept going and I kept working, and I got in by styling homes for sale. And I only needed one in to get in. And I did that by styling my brother's home for sale. And I got this real estate agent, she was female, and I just banged her until she just said yes. And anyway, she gave me my first ever big job, and I can tell you, I was absolutely shitting myself because I had no idea what I was doing, and I had no idea what to charge, but I did not say any of that. And I just, the whole thing, fake it till you make it. I had some resources that I could contact, but a lot of it I just made out through my way. And look, if I went back now and looked at that property, there would be so many things I'd do so much differently, but it was my stepping stone and it got me in the door and it led me to where I am today. So just a little bit of, history there that, this girl here was, she was fresh, she was trying to be the professional and, do all the right things, but she really had no idea what she was doing. And then there's me last year and just this is the moment actually after I decided I was going to do mentoring. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to jump. And again, it's a bit like starting a new business. I had no idea how I was going to do this, but I decided to jump. And I think if you've got the passion, things will happen. Okay. So we all start here. We all move through fear. Fear's a big thing that holds a lot of women back in this industry. Then we learn and then we grow. So this isn't just for me. This is for everyone. Everyone goes through this cycle. So we've got to start somewhere. We could go through that fear, learn, and then grow. And in the growth, on the other side of fear is always amazing growth. But as I mentioned earlier, this job is 80% mindset. So surrounding yourself with high achievers is paramount to your success. So don't ever underestimate that. So you need to be around people who are achieving great things. So here's my list, the list that everybody wants to see I'm gathering of 10 things that I would do if I was going to start my interior design business again. So the number one thing, and I'll elaborate a little bit on each of these, but I believe if you're starting out or you want to grow your business, you are going to need to do these 10 things. You're going to have a fabulous business name. And when I say a fabulous business name, I mean something that really resonates with your ideal client. So we want to know who our ideal client is. When we're starting, we won't always know who that person is, and that will evolve and you will get to that. But at the start, you want to have a business name that reflects you and that actually, excites you and your client. Okay, so have a really, I stalk a lot of people on Instagram. I'm sure we all do. Have a look what people are calling themselves, but make sure your name's catchy, easy to spell, and that you can actually pronounce it correctly. And I always say you must start off with a separate business bank account. Have a good bookkeeper and get your legals in check. Now, don't do your legals too quickly because, like me, if you do your legals, you really need to understand what service offerings you're offering before you can do your legals, because they really can't do your terms and conditions and all of those things until you're really clear on what you're offering the client. Okay, so before you get your legals done, it's really important. I mean, you need to have public indemnity and professional indemnity, one of the other two. I've got a legal masterclass on it, but you need to have that regardless. But in terms of having your legals for, like, if you're doing a 90-minute consult, or if you're putting furniture into homes or making selections in kitchens and bathrooms, you really need to know what you're doing before you can get your legals in place. Your Instagram page. Instagram is forever changing at the moment, but it is really important driver of our businesses. This is, we're a visual business. For me, I drove a multiple six-figure income out of my Instagram. I would say that 90% of my business came out of Instagram. And I started with 0 followers. Everyone starts with 0 followers. I built my following up. And for me, at the end of the day, I moved away, 8 years in, I moved away from real estate styling. I just had my time in it. I needed a change. I was, getting sick of having to produce the same looking house over and over and over. And I really had this personality that needed to, I like to create outside of the box. And I just felt like real estate staging was so inside of the box. And so just in the end, although it was absolutely gold in terms of experience, because you're actually doing so many houses so quickly, it's a great way to learn. And it gives you a really good opportunity to learn fast and to build your portfolio fast, because you get images very quickly, and you get the real estate images, you get professional images. So from that point of view, I would not change anything. But it took 8 years of doing that to move into styling to live, and that's what I focused on. And predominantly my business was and is decorating homes, so filling them out with furniture. And I predominantly align myself with Globe West. So I'm a Globe West referred designer. And for anyone out there listening, you can reach multiple six figures as a decorator. There is nothing. The word decorator is no longer, a bad word, or, a dirty word, as I call it on some of my posts. It's really actually, call yourself a stylist if you want, but I actually believe that the decorator's coming back. And as people get more and more time poor, they need people to help them get their houses set up so that they can go off to work and then just come back and have their places feeling amazing as their, and probably COVID had a lot to do with that as well. Their refuge, where they feel good in their space. Okay, and that's one of the benefits that we have. So back to my point about Instagram. So many people, I go onto their accounts in our industry, it'll take me ages to find their name. It'll take me ages to find what they do, or they tell me a really blasé thing about what they do. I decorate homes, or I end-to-end, they use some industry jargon on their bios. So really, a lot of the thing that I do too, and I teach, is we've got to remember who we're talking to. We're not talking to our colleagues. We're actually talking to clients. So make sure that your speak, and even anything that you're corresponding with your clients, is that you're talking to your client and you're not talking to your peers. Okay, I think that's really, really important, because I see a lot of amazing branding, but the actual wording and that isn't really clear on what they actually do or who they're talking to. So Instagram, optimize it, be consistent, show up on it every day, show up in stories, show up on a post. Don't go flat out for 6 months and then ghost it for 3 months. You have to be consistent on a daily basis with Instagram, okay? And when you think no one's watching, just be very mindful that there are a lot of people that watch and never comment and never like, but they are there watching. And what are they there for? If you think about it, what are your clients there for? They're there to be inspired. It's an aspirational image that they're wanting. They're wanting to say, oh my God, I love that. I would love to have that in my house. Okay, how can Roberta help me put this into my house? How can Kylie get me to get this look? And that's where we come into my house. So make sure you're consistent on it. Make sure you've optimized your Instagram page. Make sure you've got a business page. Make sure that you're looking at your insights weekly, looking at what's actually working, who's saving what, what they're engaging in, where you're getting the most reach from. So really using it strategically to grow your business even further. Okay, so always do more of what works. Don't do more of what's not working. Always want to do more of what's working. Professional photography. So as soon as you can get that, headshots, start with headshots. I always say it is the best $500 you'll invest in. Professional headshots, just get them done. Start off with them. You're going to use them in your investment guide. You're going to use them on all your marketing collateral, and they are a must to get professional in your business. And then when you can, invest in a photography for your homes that you do. Sometimes that's not always easy, but I can tell you now, I used a lot of Globe West images in my feed, and I didn't need to get professional photography done. They brought out a new range. I promoted it. I was one of their top referred designers. So you can align yourself. And I just took that upon myself. I aligned myself with Globe West because it suited me. It suited my business. It suited the way I wanted to work. And it suited the way that I wanted to communicate with my clients. You might choose Satara. You might choose Jardin. It doesn't really matter who you choose, but you can align yourself with a certain supplier and, just decide to go for it. So professional photography is a must. I don't believe you have to have a website to start off with, but I do believe, you need a really good email address. None of this at Gmail or at Hotmail. Get your professional, it's got to be Kylie at Gold Chalk. You've got to make sure that you're looking professional. We don't need Hotmail or Gmail accounts. Website, start off really basic with a website. You can build your own website on Squarespace. You only need to have a one-pager, but make sure that they've got something to go back to. Professional logo, I'm really big on investing in your branding. I think as soon as I invested in my branding, it took my business to a new level. So with photography, branding, and that means a professional logo, branding colors. So you've got your suite of colors that you use. You've got your suite of fonts that you use. So no more is branding just your logo. It's so much more than your logo now. So you need to have all of that comes with it. And an investment guide. Who's got an investment guide here that they send to their clients? Hands up. Karina, maybe. Mel's got one, or got some blank pages there with no people. Okay. It wasn't until I actually made my investment guide and spent time on it that my business actually turned around. It was the most phenomenal thing that I did for my business, hands down. And so one of the first things that I get the women in the group to do is we've got to create your investment guide. It's the one way that we start to get our money back, our investments back. And we need to tell our clients how they can work with us, what we're like, who we're like, what we do. And again, I see so many beautifully designed investment guides, all with peer jargon, so all interiors jargon. So really important to get someone else to look at your investment guide once you do it as well, that it's really easy to interpret and that it's clear on what you're doing and what you do and what you actually give your client for what they invest in you for. Okay, because that was the biggest thing. A lot of people, you can say, oh, I do a 90-minute consult, but you've got to almost realize that a lot of people don't even understand what's included in that 90-minute consult. So you need to be very explicit. An investment guide needs to have 3 to 4 service offerings. I really start off in the beginning with no more than 3. I think if 4's the absolute max, anything over 4, you're confusing your client and you will put them back into analysis paralysis or decision paralysis. They'll find it hard to make a decision. So I think ideally 3 is to really hone in and get your 3 super sharp, 3 service offerings in your investment guide. And I think that that's the way to go to get your business up and running. Some people I see have got 6, and I just feel like, they wonder why. I had actually someone come to me and show me their investment guide, and they just said, look, the investment guide just doesn't work for me. I don't convert anything from my investment guide. And I said, oh, okay, that's really interesting. Let me have a look at your investment guide. This was one of the girls in the program. And I looked at it. She had, I think, 12 offerings in her investment guide, and she also spoke in interior design jargon. And I just said to her, you're not talking to your ideal client. And I said, they're confused. I'm confused. I didn't know what she was really good at or what she was really offering me. And it made it very difficult. She was trying to be everything to everyone, and it just didn't work. So it's really important. Keep it narrow and make sure it's very clear and that it actually is appealing to your ideal client. Use images that appeal to your ideal client as well. Mindset work, I'm going to say that is one of the biggest things that you can do here. It is a beast and it can ruin you and it can paralyze you and it can stop you moving forward. So cannot stress enough how important it is to be surrounded with people upbeat, listen to podcasts, get into masterminds. A lot of people say to me, oh, I can't get into those groups. They don't want me in your group. Well, if you can't get into a group, then you pay to be in a group. Okay, so whatever it takes for you to surround yourself with those people, you decide who those people are for you, but just get into those groups and at the very least, listen to podcasts and listen to YouTube, but just commit to working on your mindset daily. I think it's paramount for your success. Sorry, I'm just moving this over here. It's really important for you, number 9, to have a marketing plan, to know what you're going to be doing, when and where. Okay, so this sounds really simple. It's actually quite difficult, but really it becomes more simple when you know who you're targeting. Okay, so you need to know what you're going to be doing, when you're going to be doing it, and where. Really, really important. And for us, you should all be definitely on Instagram and Pinterest. And I really do think there's going to be a push back. I listen to a lot of marketing programs and people that are, forecasting what's going to happen. And there really is going to be a pushback to Facebook. So if you currently don't have a business page for your Facebook, I highly recommend you having one, because there will be a pushback to Facebook. It's coming. And then the last thing that I think that everyone needs is a hashtag formula, and you need to really have that. So this is the basic 10 things. I could reel off another 20 things that I think you should have, but a hashtag formula, I'd say that you need to have 5 sets of 30 hashtags. Okay, 5 different sets. I've got a blog post that gives you a hashtag formula. So it tells you how to work out your hashtag formula. So feel free to go and reference that. It's on the website, on the Gold Chalk website, on the blog. But really get your hashtags right and work out, if you're in the local community, get into your local hashtags. Okay, if that's where you want to work, find out what your local hashtags are. for me, when I was growing my business, I knew Monty 3094 was the hot hashtag. It was where all the real estate was hanging out. It was the growing suburb. It was where everyone was trying to get into. It was my neighbouring suburb. So every post that I did, I would hashtag Monty 3094. And really, that's how Gold Chalk became so well known, because people just kept seeing it pop up everywhere. And it was just through consistency of doing that it became a name known locally. So find those things out. You know, they're always changing. And if there's someone hot in your suburb, go and look what they're hashtagging and see if you can, you know, take some of their hashtags. So, you know, it could be fashion, doesn't have to be our industry. It could be something else. I was following real estate hashtags when I was doing mine. So, you know, think about like for me, I'd be thinking, okay, my ideal client, where's she hanging out? Where's she shopping? You know, what does she want to do? You know, what cafes does she go to? And then I'd be checking out those cafes, and then I'd be checking out their hashtags. And, you know, there's just so much information you can find out there if you really just start thinking a little bit differently, particularly if you're getting into your local market. Okay. Any questions on those 10? Anyone got a question? So I did want to explain a little bit about the mentor program, if you'd allow me to just chat about it a minute, and just explain to you what it is I do in the mentor program and why I know it is so amazing. But it is a 12-month program where you get coached by me, and it has a very beautiful community in there. There's 50 designers in there at the moment, all at varying levels. So there's some that have been designers for 16 years. There are some that are just raw starting their business. But it's everything like this program gives you everything that you need, no matter where you are in your journey. Okay, we do cover the basics, and I get you to make sure that you are covering the basics first, but then it's also about getting you to multiple six figures as well. Okay, so the reason it's 12 months is because it did start off as a 6-week program. It went to 12 weeks. And then at the end of that, I just found that everyone wanted to stay, and they just wanted to stay for the community and just to keep going for the ongoing learning as well that came in. So it is a 12-month experience. You can come in and pay in full. You get coaching with me every month. There is at least 3 live coachings with me each month, Q&A sessions, masterclass, and a live where we hot seat each other. And there's also, we have live meetups, and there's also a growing library of masterclasses, and there's all the modules within the Interiors Insider formula. So you go through all the trainings as well. Okay, so that's all been, we run through it live, and that's actually starting next Monday, the first live. So we run through it live, and they're also there for you to go back and watch whenever you like. So if you can't get to a live, it's recorded and it's put into the portal as well. Okay, if you can get to the live, amazing. Where the value is really turning up to the lives. I think what people love in the current format is that they love the small cohort that comes through and starts. So although there's 50 people in there, they love the 10 people that go through each cohort. You get to know each other, you get accountability buddy, and it's just a really safe and just a beautiful environment to ask questions and feel supported. So that's why the reason it's gone to 12 months. You can come in though, and you can leave at any time. You can pay by the month. If you don't like it, it doesn't suit you, you can leave. But I had Joe today do a video testimonial that I put onto Instagram, and I loved her story, because when I first met Jo, she was one of the founding members. Jo was she was a hard cookie to crack. She was I think she knew she needed help, but she didn't actually, she had back issues. So she's an ex-Olympian. Winter Olympian, and she had some back issues that were causing her some grief. She wanted to change her business model, but she just didn't know what to do. So we just spent some actually, I just listened to her over the weeks of the program in her cohort, and I just sort of got a really good feel for her. And in the end, she ended up moving to Echuca. So she moved out of the suburbs in Melbourne up to Echuca. She's now running, so she had a product-based business here in homewares, and now she had a shop, I think, and then it went online. And now she's running a renovation business out of Echuca. But lots of exciting things happening for this girl. She is going to be on a TV episode next year. I think it's going to be like some awesome building. It's not the Block or anything like that, something a bit more grander than that. So that's a little bit of an example of someone that came in, and so many amazing stories of what the women are doing, where they're going, and just changing their mindsets and being around amazing other women is just so inspiring. She inspires me all the time. But yeah, there's so many things in the program. So you've got templates, you've got there's an investment guide, you've got a pre-written one, you get the pricing guide. So there's so many things. You get your Instagram bio document, you get 50 prompts about being an interior, like to post on Instagram. There are so many bonuses for this round. And there is also an abundance and affirmations journal that we go through, and then I help you work on your mindset every single month to make sure that you're optimizing where you're at. So the last thing I just want to tell you all is we start next Monday the 21st, and we kick off with a 3K challenge. Okay, so my objective here is to get you to get your investment back as soon as we start. And I get the cohort to work in, and we do a 3K challenge, and I give you the details of how and what you need to do to get that money back straight away so you can find clients and pay for your investment. So I know for some people it's a big investment, and it doesn't matter how much I tell you how good it is, you have to be comfortable that you want to step forward and invest in yourself. But all I can say to you, it is so totally worth it. The 10 things I shared tonight are just a snippet of what we go through, and they're really the basics they're the must-haves to get your business up and running. But we go in depth so much more, and every week, every time there's a live, we all learn something new, because we're all just talking, bringing our problems to the table, and we just talk about them as a group, and just try and work out how because different things come up as you go along. That's part of business. Like more recently, I had to refund a client $3,000. It was just a wrong fitting client. I actually did a blog post on it, but 13 years in, I'm still doing things that, realizing things as well. So it was really nice to be able to bounce that off in the group and talk about it. And, I feel actually so much freer that I actually just got rid of that client. But yeah, we learn about red flags, and it's just a beautiful community to come into. And if you're feeling lonely, this job is so lonely, and you can't do it by yourself. I know you can't, because you will do it for a little bit by yourself, but there'll be a block. You'll come to a block, because that's just what happens. And for me, even at my level, I'm always aspiring to do new things. So I'm always investing in myself, making sure that I'm surrounding myself with high achievers as well, so that, I bring the very best of me to what I offer to everyone in the program also. So the 3K challenge is really exciting, and it's super fun, and it's a challenge, and it's actually fun to see what happens. That everyone that comes into the cohort, we just see, okay, what can you do? How can you do it? And some of us become quite competitive in it, And that's really good too, you know, it comes, whatever happens, happens. And yeah, we just work it out together and find out, you know, what's our sweet spot. And I'll just show you quickly, so you don't have to wait for a long time to get into it, just quickly how you can get your money back quite quickly. So that's about it from me. I'm just looking at the chat box. Did anyone do, okay, a welcome pack? Is that the same? Is that what you're meaning? Is that the investment pack, Karina? No, so we go through that. A lot of people are confused that a welcome pack and an investment guide is the same. A welcome pack is when you're welcoming your client into the business. So they've signed up with you and they're working with you. So our welcome guide or pack is very different to the investment guide. The investment guide talks more about you and what you're offering and how they can work with you. The welcome guide is a little bit more in depth, where we put the legal contract in. You know, if you've got a team, who would be working with you, how you like to work, you know, what forms of contact you'd have with them. So yeah, very different, a welcome pack to the investment guide. The investment guide is the minimum and will change your business once you have an investment guide, particularly if you find it really hard to talk to clients about money. So, you know, a lot of people find money a really hard discussion to have. And we talk a lot about money in Interiors Insider because, you know, all women should be earning money, and it's okay when we earn money. It's not a bad thing for women to earn money. And, you know, there's so many positive things come out of that in terms of charging. And once you get in the group and you hear what other people are charging and you might be offering the same thing, you get a really good feel for where you fit, and it becomes the norm, really. And the other beautiful thing about Interiors Insider, and you might have seen this, is I interview quite a lot of women in business. So, you know, I've got a few colleagues in the industry that are really happy to come in and they talk all about their processes, their pricing, yeah, how they get clients. So all of that behind the scenes stuff is in the masterclass library. And I know that's one of the things that everyone loves to listen to. So I interview someone in the business, and there's a series within the program called How She Built This. And I just interview a different woman in our industry every month, and I load that into the membership so that everyone can see it and listen to it and be, you know, enthused and motivated. And really a lot of it too is about relating to it and seeing how they've started and how they grew and what was the catalyst for the growth and how it happened. And yeah, it's really interesting listening to all of those. Do you send it before the first consult or after? So your investment guide is my first point of contact. So if I have a query come through a DM, through Instagram or an email, my first point of contact back to my client is always, thank you for getting in touch. I would love to find out more about your project. Here is my investment guide. I'm going to allow you like 24 hours, have a read, come back to me. If I don't hear from you within 24 hours, then I'm going to follow you up with a phone call and just see where you're at, what you're interested in. So I'm always send that out pretty much as my first contact, because what that's going to do is that's going to weed out anyone that is not wanting to work with me, whether their pricing might be wrong. Usually if I can talk to my client on the phone after they've seen the investment guide, I know that I can convert them. Okay, and we go through, that's the phone sales script and, you know, how to convert them on the phone. But yeah, a lot of that's done. If you can get on the call with them, you should be able to convert them. And most of my mentees will convert. Not 99% will convert. So yeah, I hope that helped there, Lucy. And just wondering if there is another intake in the near future. There won't be in the near future. This round will take me probably till mid next year, and then the round stays in for 12 months. So we usually takes us 6 months to run through a live program. By the time we go through it, all and have our weeks and follow up and then bring our investment guides in and I check them all. So I'm pretty hands-on, and the next intake will probably be mid next year, I'd say, in some way or form. It's more than an investment guide then. What's that, Karina?
Hey.
Hi.
Thought it might just be easier just to talk. Yeah, I've been calling it a welcome pack, but after hearing what you've just said, it's probably is more of an investment guide, because it's just a really brief, hey, this is who I am, this is my history, these are my services, so it's probably more of an investment guide.
Yeah.
I've just been calling it the wrong thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion in the industry between the investment guide and the welcome guide, and you do need both. But yeah, the investment guide's the first point. Mm-hmm. And then just think of it, you're welcoming them into the business. So you've already got their business. That's how I always think of it. I'm welcoming them in. And there is some repetitiveness in them, but it's also more about telling them how it's really about you taking the lead and telling them how you're going to be working with them. So the more often you can tell them that and take the lead, the more that you'll have less clients trying to take the lead from you. And we never want a client leading our process or our job. Mm-hmm. Do you print them out or via email? I usually, if I'm going, like, I showed this in the mentor program, I had a one-pager that I'd printed out, and I go through a lot of the advertising collateral. So just as another bit of a background, you'll probably understand from me that my background in buying is a real marketing background. So I love marketing, and that's where I guess you could probably pick that up in Instagram. That's my skill level. So really what I'm teaching in Interiors Insider is, yes, some of the processes and the way that you move along, but what I'm really teaching you is how to run your business, how to market yourself, and how to market your brand and yourself, which is really, you are your brand. So that's, I know that marketing, without being able to market yourself, your business doesn't survive. You can be the best designer, you can be the most talented designer out there, but if you can't market your business, you won't survive. So I guess the reason I have Interiors Insider is because I have a love for marketing. I love marketing my business, and I love finding new and different ways to market. So yeah, you can print it out. I have a beautiful email on mine. We actually have a template in there. We have legal templates as well. So you really get all the templates in there, and then you customize it to your business and how you want to use it. But I guess in summarizing it, the program, regardless of anything else, will get you to a wait list of clients. And at the end of the day, I don't just say that as, you could contact anyone in the mentee or in the mentor program now and ask them, but I would say 99% who have done the work and are really serious about their business, all of them have wait lists. And that's a fabulous, that is so amazing. I never wanted them to have wait lists. I just wanted them to get a really steady income and earn some money out of this industry, and just show them what was possible. But to have wait lists, I think, is amazing. But the other thing we've got to also remember from that is wait listing. Yeah, unless we do things properly and set our systems up properly and our processes, by having to, and I know this can sound really stupid, but this is never going to happen to me, but I see it so often in this program, is that people go from underbooked to overwhelmed, and they get so many clients they don't know how to deal with them. So that's another thing we branch into. Okay, how are we going to deal with multiple clients? How do we get them waitlisted? How do we keep them happy and willing to wait to work with us? So the last thing I want you to do is to get so busy that you get overwhelmed, and then that just again puts you into paralysis. So it's just another way that you will get to that stage, because I see it happen all the time. where, you know, women get overwhelmed, because there is so much work out there for all of us. And we all bring our unique way of doing things and working with clients. And, you know, we really want to embrace who we are. And, you know, I'm learning from all of the members as well. Like, I learn things constantly from them. And, you know, on the group Q&As that we do, it really is, we go into small breakout rooms, you get to know other members in the group really well, and you form beautiful friendships as well. You know, I've met some of my really good friends in our group and through networking events. So here we go. Do you recommend business through the course of the program to use for logo and branding? Do you recommend? Oh, yes, I've got I call it the little green book, Kerry, which has got all my, all the people that I've worked with along the way who will support you. And so we have a list of the best copywriters. We have a lighting specialist in the group. We've just got so many specialists in there. We have branding, photographers. Yeah, so you don't have to use them, but I just give you the list of all the people that I've used and that I would highly recommend in getting your business up and running. So yes, that comes with it. With your branding, and there's a branding. There's also a template in there that's been scripted already for you and that you can customize to your own business. And then I give you mine as well that you can use and modify it to your own business as well. So I'll have to say, any template that you can think of that you need in your business is available in the program. And anything to do with your mind and mindset's available in there. And anything that's not in there that you need or you want, then it's my mission to get it in there for you. So I make sure that we cover all bases, and usually I've got a good contact base to make sure that I can get whatever. So the latest masterclasses is, we've done the solicitor, we're doing now the legal templates. So we're working out which one's better. We also get, you know, discount codes, so that if all of my members are exposed to, you know, the template people, then we ask them for a deal to make sure that we're looking after the members as well. We're actually working on a trade list as well. So all the suppliers, what their discounts will be, so that you can use that as well in your businesses. And the likes, you know, of Globe West, who are aligning themselves with our membership as well. And hopefully more and more suppliers. You know, we've got quite a few local ones that are reaching out and asking for, you know, particularly live events in supporting the members and showcasing new things, new products as well, not just, you know, not just things for the business, but things that you can also use for your clients as well. So hopefully, how many hours do we need to invest on average per week in the program? Well, the beauty of this program is you're in there for 12 months. So, I mean, if you want to pay for 12 months, or if you want to pay by the month and you don't like it, if you leave, you don't get any of the rest of the program. So if you leave, none of the content's there. But if you buy the 12 months and you're staying there for 12 months, I would say you need to at least invest 1 hour per week for the live that we do in the cohort. So that's usually either 8 p.m. on a Monday night, or this latest group, it suited them all for me to run it at 9:30 on a Monday morning. So we ran it every Monday morning at 9:30 a.m. But I also run it at 8 p.m. on a Monday night. So whatever suits the group, I'm happy to work with. 1 hour at least, and we have probably 3 touch points a month in the actual membership. All of those are recorded. So if you can't make it live, you can watch the recording. The recording goes straight up. I personally love them live because I feel like you get the most out of it, but I do understand that sometimes is not possible. So yeah, in terms of hours, I would say max would be 2 hours a week. And yeah, you'll just be engulfed with lots of knowledge. And, you know, it's not until you see how other people are doing things that you really understand that there are better ways and different ways of doing things. We all think that we're doing things the right way. And, you know, I really like to get in quickly with you and understand who you are. And I like to try and work out what you want to get out of it, and how I'm going to help you get there within our period together, whether you decide to stay for 12 months, 6 months, whatever. It's totally up to you. I have to say that most of mine, I think one person is about to leave next month after being in. Most sign into their second year. So yeah, after the first year, it's $99 to stay a month. So once you've used the first year and you've got through all the content, you still have access to everything, but it goes down to $99 a month. Any other questions? Sonia, did you have a question? You can come off if you like, otherwise I can ask.
Yeah, I'd much rather talk, sorry.
Go for it. I love it when people talk, then it stops me talking.
I just want to know, like, if you're completely starting from scratch, like no logo, no Instagram page or anything, is that something that you would recommend this program for as well? Or do we kind of need to have at least sort of built something first before we sort of go down this path?
You can start from scratch. I should mention this also. There is another girl in the group who has started from scratch, but is actually a branding marketer. So she does help with branding as well for people in the group. So you don't have to use her, but I help you create your logo suite, your colors, your fonts. We go through that in one of the weeks in branding. So you can totally come in at any stage as long as you're committed to working through it. And look, at the end of the day, you'll get out of it as much as you put in. And as much as you want my support, I'm there to help you. So yeah, you don't need to have started, but you need to have the idea that you're going to start and that you want to move forward.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Did that sort of answer that all right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's girls in there that have been at the beginning, the last cohort, raw, fresh. Cohort before that, half raw, half a little bit established. And then the one before that, they were mainly established. So it just really depends. And the groups usually work well together. And the thing is, you go back into the wider group, I really get you settled with the other 50 members so that, there's different levels, but everyone's willing to share. That's the beautiful thing about being in the group, and everyone's willing to bring their experience. And if you're new, it's a really safe space to ask questions. There's no silly questions.
Okay.
We try and cover that. And so that's why I like to run it in the cohort, because I feel like sometimes you won't bring your question to a group of 50, but you will bring it to your little cohort. So I get you going in your cohort first, and then we dive back into the bigger group.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So when we do like the group Q&As, that's the bigger group, but every week you're in your smaller group.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you.
No problems. Anyone else got a question? So I hope you found that useful. I know I said we were going to go for about 45 minutes, so we've got a little bit over time, so sorry about that. But there are 3 bonuses at the moment, and I showed you those before. So if you're interested, you can jump into those. There's been an email. I'll send you an email after this. If you want to jump on, I'd love to have you. If you've got a question that you just want to ask me, then please, by all means, reach out, DM me, ask me. But if you're sitting on the fence, just jump. I promise you won't regret it. If it's something that you really want to do and you really want to get your business moving, I can help you do it. I know I can. And I know the rest of the members will too. Everyone there is just so supportive and lovely. So I'm going to leave you with that. I will send you an email. Again, if you want any questions answered, feel free to yell out. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Who's watching My Father, Your Daughter, or I don't know, what's it called? Is anyone watching that? No? Okay, don't worry. Some trashy TV. Okay. I might try and see if I can watch it. Yeah, so thanks for coming, and thanks for coming live. I really appreciate it. And I hope you all got something out of that. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Take care. Have a great week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.